Caitlin Clark has been named the Time Magazine Player of the Year, Athlete of the Year, excuse me.
When you're talking about GOATs of the W, I need my name to be up there, at least top 3. Like, that's my goal, is like, I want something like, when you're thinking of women's basketball, when you're thinking of the W, I want my name to be.
While the basketball world celebrated Caitlin Clark's crowning as Time's Athlete of the Year, whispers of envy swirled in WNBA circles, raising questions about recognition, respect, and the growing chasm between players in the W.
Envy. They're human. I'm not surprised that we're seeing envy, but envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. With Caitlin Clark, it's not at all luck. But what we're seeing, and not generalizing, not by every WNBA player, but by...
So, it's no news that Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence has been nothing short of meteoric. As she graces the cover of Time as Athlete of the Year, her dominance both on and off the court reaches a new peak.
Caitlin Clark has been named Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. This is a big-time accomplishment for the young rookie already. Bro, Caitlin Clark has been breaking records, setting records.
This accolade not only cements her as a transcendent basketball talent, but also underscores her outsized influence in the sport, despite all thought that she will struggle stepping onto a WNBA court.
And I don't know if you saw, Indiana Fever yesterday posted this clip of Caitlin, and the caption was just her accolades, and it took 5 minutes to read, and I'm like, girl, do you want to chill at all?
Clark is not merely a player. She is a cultural phenomenon, captivating audiences with her electric style of play and magnetic personality. Her rise comes at a time when women's basketball is finally beginning to get its due, and her presence has undoubtedly brought new fans to the sport. But the timing of this recognition has sparked complex feelings within the WNBA. For years, the league's stars have worked relentlessly to elevate women's basketball to new heights.
It takes, like, whatever it needs to get there, whether it's the rings, whether it's the accolades individually, like, I want to be up there in that category.
You on your way, being a champion already, only 26. Y'all got firepower now, MVP, two times.
When it comes to mainstream recognition, it's Clark who has taken center stage. Her Time honor comes on the heels of other high-profile individual awards, from National Player of the Year titles to ESPYs, leaving some WNBA players questioning why their contributions are so often overlooked. For many, this disparity reflects a broader issue: the persistent struggle for the WNBA to receive the respect and visibility it deserves.
Is there anybody in the NBA under the age of 30 that's a bigger name, bigger jaw, bigger star than Caitlin Clark? That is a genuine, serious question. Anthony Edwards? No. Shea? No. Jason Tatum? No. Jaylen Brown? Nope. Luka? Nah. Victor Wembanyama?
Clark's recognition, however, need not be seen as a slight to the WNBA, but rather as an opportunity. Her magnetic presence and ability to generate headlines can be a gateway for fans to discover the brilliance of WNBA players who have long been carrying the torch. As Clark inevitably transitions to the professional league, her arrival could usher in a new era of visibility and investment in women's basketball. The challenge now is to ensure that her rise amplifies, not eclipses, the contributions of those who have been building the league brick by brick.
Caitlin Clark arguably is the most popular basketball player, men or women's, in the world right now.
Look what she did for women's collegiate basketball. I mean, I even watched it this year.
In celebrating Caitlin Clark's well-deserved honor, the basketball world must also reckon with how to equally uplift the stars who have been transforming the WNBA into a global powerhouse. Only then can women's basketball truly thrive. A'ja Wilson, a two-time WNBA MVP and the face of the reigning champion Las Vegas Aces, has been a force in women's basketball since entering the league. Friends and fans alike praise her for her unquestionable domination on the court and her capacity to perform well under duress. Wilson, however, made headlines recently when she increased her speaking engagement costs to $10,000 more than Caitlin Clark's. This audacious action shows that Wilson believes she is one of the WNBA's biggest stars. However, underlying the self-assurance is a more complex story of heritage, acknowledgement, and the changing nature of women's basketball.
$100,000. Shortly after Clark news started trending, a fan posted a screenshot of an article claiming that the reigning WNBA MVP charged $110,000 for her speaking engagement.
Wilson's decision is more than just a business move. It's a statement. By pricing her appearances above Clark's, she's reinforcing her position as the premier star of women's basketball. In her eyes, she has earned this right. With multiple accolades, including a championship and MVP titles, Wilson has been instrumental in elevating the WNBA's level of play and visibility. She's not merely competing with Clark, she's staking her claim as the face of the sport. Wilson has even expressed her desire to be regarded as one of the WNBA's GOATs, a lofty goal, but one that aligns with her confidence and ambition.
Player of the year. She's a gold medalist.
Yeah.
She's got her own statue at 26. They do that when you like 50,
Come on, you gotta
50 60.
Crazy.
You don't feel none of the pressure though? No bullshit. You on like some LeBron shit with what you accomplished at such an early age. You're on pace to really break a ton of records. No pressure?
It's just fun.
Yeah.
This is like my life. I love it. I love to hoop. Just putting the ball in the basket is really it.
However, Wilson's rise has not come without challenges. Despite her achievements, she has struggled to break through into mainstream recognition in the same way that Caitlin Clark has. Clark's rise to prominence was meteoric, and her accolades, including Time Athlete of the Year, have further catapulted her into the spotlight. The situation sparks larger questions about how women's sports are marketed and consumed. Is it the NCAA's visibility, the storytelling surrounding college athletes, or the WNBA's ongoing struggle for consistent exposure? Wilson's response, raising her speaking fees and staking her claim as a GOAT, is a reflection of her confidence, but also her frustration.
Is A'ja Wilson on pace for the greatest WNBA season ever?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What would be better than this season for anybody?
She's on pace to set the record for points per game. I think like close to 2 to 3 points above the previous record.
Oh, hell yeah.
As the landscape of women's basketball continues to evolve, Wilson's ambition to be one of the GOATs of the WNBA is not only justified, but vital for the league's growth. Her success, and her determination to be recognized, underscores the importance of celebrating WNBA stars as much as we do rising college athletes. For Wilson, it's not just about being the star of the show. It's about ensuring the stage is big enough for the world to notice. Caitlin Clark continues to dominate headlines, not just for her jaw-dropping performances on the court, but for the accolades rolling in off it. Following her recognition as Time's Athlete of the Year, Clark has now earned a spot on Forbes' prestigious list of contenders for Sports Personality of the Year, a testament to her growing influence in the world of sports. For a collegiate athlete to ascend to such heights in mainstream recognition speaks volumes about her transcendent talent and magnetic personality.
Caitlin Clark has been named Time Athlete of the Year, which you can see right here. This is the cover of the Time magazine for her after she took the WNBA by storm, had a phenomenal rookie season. The league, for the first time ever, is relevant. She was selling out NBA arenas across the country. I know, I went to one of the
Clark's inclusion in this elite group signals more than just personal achievement. It represents a seismic shift in how women's sports are perceived and celebrated. Her combination of skill, leadership, and fiery competitiveness has drawn comparisons to iconic figures in sports history. But what sets her apart is her ability to capture the public imagination in ways that even seasoned professionals sometimes struggle to achieve. The fact that she's being lauded alongside global superstars underscores how her star power resonates far beyond basketball's traditional fan base.
Watching her play, she's incredible. She's got range that you have to pick her up basically as soon as she crosses the half court line because she's dangerous from everywhere. Like you're watching shooting against her. Like Caitlin Clark's going to be in that conversation here for years. Not like that girl can flat out shoot. So
and she doesn't. And this is taking nothing away from the way women shoot a basketball, but her form looks more like a guy, where it's more of a pull up and a follow through rather than a push. And I honestly think that's one of the reasons she's so successful.
Her Her ascent is not without controversy, though. While Clark deserves her honors, discussions over WNBA players' exposure and acknowledgement have been rekindled by her quick rise to prominence. Even though many of the league's more seasoned players have spent years performing at the highest level, they are rarely considered for such awards. The influence of media narratives, social biases, and the special attention that NCAA athletes like Clark frequently receive are all called into question by this discrepancy. Clark is changing the course of history for upcoming generations, whether or not she wins Sports Personality of the Year. The emergence of Caitlin Clark as Time's Athlete of the Year has reignited an age-old debate in women's basketball. Who truly holds the power to shape the sport's narrative? For years, players like Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson have carried the torch for women's basketball, not just through their on-court dominance, but also as cultural icons. The recognition, however, that Caitlin is receiving outside the league challenges the very notion of who the real star of the sport is and who deserves the spotlight.
I can't think of too many athletes in any sport that have had a more successful rookie year season than Caitlin Clark. Like, really. So she was the runaway rookie of the year, and then she's just been issued Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year? I don't think I've ever seen that, and I don't think people realize how big a Time Magazine award is, and definitely when you're the Athlete of the Year for Time Magazine.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson are no strangers to the grind of elevating women's basketball. Reese, with her unapologetic confidence and bold presence on and off the court, has brought a refreshing authenticity to the game. Her viral moments and ability to command attention have made her a trailblazer in shifting the culture around women's sports. Similarly, Wilson has been a beacon of consistency and excellence in the WNBA, amassing MVP trophies and leading her team to championships. She embodies everything a superstar should: talent, leadership, and a commitment to pushing the game forward.
A'ja Wilson unanimously wins the WNBA MVP award. Wilson received all 67 first-place votes from a national media panel, making her a three-time award winner. She won in 2020 and 2022. She's the fourth player in WNBA history to reach that milestone, joining Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, and Lauren Jackson.
For Caitlin Clark, her record-breaking performances and her ability to thrive under pressure make her a generational talent. But it's her story, one of a seemingly unstoppable force dominating the college game, that has garnered her a level of recognition rarely afforded to women's basketball players, even those in the professional ranks. Clark's accolades, like Time's Athlete of the Year, have transcended the confines of sports media, signaling her arrival as a mainstream cultural phenomenon. Recognition outside of the game often hinges on individual stories and marketability, not solely on accomplishments. For Reese and Wilson, the challenge now is not just excelling in their craft, but finding ways to command the public imagination in a way that demands respect, equal to their talent.
And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
So apparently, the WNBA has taken a bold and commendable step in recognizing Caitlin Clark as not just a rising basketball sensation, but as one of the best players in the sport, despite her not yet stepping onto a professional court. This acknowledgement is significant, as Clark's appearance on the WNBA homepage marks a moment where the league aligns itself with one of the most electrifying figures in basketball today. Her talent, charisma, and relentless drive have not only made her a household name, but have also propelled the WNBA into unprecedented growth, cementing its status as the fastest-growing sports organization in 2023.
But just don't want to not utilize this opportunity to thank Caitlin for what she's done for women's basketball. Like, her shoulders were heavy and getting a lot of eyeballs on our game. And sometimes, as a young person, it could be a bit much, but I thought she handled it with class. And I hope that every step of the ladder of success that she goes, she's able to elevate whatever room she's in.
Clark's inclusion at the forefront of the league's promotions underscores her impact on basketball culture. With Clark's undeniable momentum and the WNBA's strategic vision, the partnership heralds a new era where women's basketball takes center stage like never before. Known for her deep three-pointers, pinpoint passing, and fearless demeanor, she plays with a swagger that captivates audiences. But her influence isn't limited to highlight reels. Clark is a cultural phenomenon who has managed to break through barriers that many athletes, especially women, struggle to overcome. She doesn't just compete, she elevates the game, drawing comparisons to the likes of Steph Curry and transcending the traditional boundaries of women's basketball.
I think the WNBA narrative right now is Caitlin Clark, and I think that's a good narrative, but it's also not the only narrative. Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things. You're the number one pick. People are going to go after you.
Being named Time's Athlete of the Year is particularly significant because it highlights her impact not just as a basketball player, but as a cultural icon. This award isn't just about her stats or championships, it's about her narrative. Clark has become a symbol of resilience, passion, and the limitless potential of women in sports. She represents a new era where female athletes are not just respected for their skill, but celebrated for their marketability and influence. Clark, however, has managed to command a spotlight that rivals, or even surpasses, that of many male athletes. Her presence has brought record-breaking viewership to women's basketball games, sparking debates and conversations that go beyond the hardwood.
Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year is Caitlin Clark, obviously.
Yeah,
Everyone
no
was
surprise.
talking about Caitlin Clark. I mean, sales for, to watch games, WNBA games just increased and skyrocketed because of her.
Additionally, Time's recognition of her as Athlete of the Year isn't just a testament to her talent. It's a reflection of the seismic shift she's creating in how athletes are celebrated, regardless of gender. In an era where sports heroes often come and go, Clark is carving out a legacy that feels enduring. She's not just playing the game, she's changing it. And in doing so, Caitlin Clark has proven that her effect truly is second to none. Is Caitlin Clark's recognition a triumph for women's basketball, or a reminder of the hurdles the WNBA still faces in gaining mainstream respect? We will love to hear from you in the comment below. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.